show. Good evening, everyone. My name is Julio, as you guys know, and my co-host and friend Robert Barbosa. And we are happy that you're here this evening. We have a bunch of news, but first off, Robert, before we get started, let me bring my verse of the evening. Go ahead, Robert. You have the first one. I have the last one.
All right, here we go. And it says, I'm sorry, Galatians 5:22, verse 22 through 23. But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, forbearance, kindness, goodness, fulfillment, gentleness, and self control. Against such things there is no law. Amen
Amen.
to that.
Amen to that. Robert,
Mhm.
how was your day so far?
Well, it's been good. You know, it's been busy. Every time I feel like I do a post here and there, and sometimes I get, good reaction, sometimes I get bad. But let me tell you something, Julio. So here in Conroe, I made a post, and let me tell you that all I said was that the left, you know, Vic, they want to praise and make homage to criminals,
Mhm.
and more so than they do for real victims that were actually victimized uh, by illegals. And again, I mean, yeah, okay, I'm not pro illegal immigration, right? There's a difference between legal and illegal. And so I'm for legal immigrations, but I'm not for um, illegal immigration. So if you don't know what that means, it means that I am not okay with people crossing the border here illegally, and without permission. Just imagine somebody breaking into your house, right, Julio, and then they decide to hunker up there and say, you know what, this is my home, this and this and that, and you're welcoming because you realize that, man, they come from a shitty place, or some, excuse my French, a bad place, right? But then guess what? So I just said that, and I got, man, like, okay, so the people that were in support were, of course, the majority by the likes and hearts, and then it was these very little people that did not like it, and they,
Mhm.
put laugh or whatever, and um, dude, yeah, it's just crazy. It's funny though. I have really good humor, so I kind of want to share some of them because you know beyond all that, they have the right to think what they want. And if that's what they believe, hey, who am I to say that, they're wrong or whatever, I mean, they're obviously wrong because I do not think myself this way. And when I seen this, I just thought it was just so hilarious, dude. I couldn't stop laughing. And once I show you whoever this person is, uh, even though they're at my expense, they're roasting me. Props to you guys because this is funny. I don't want to spoil. I'm trying to find it. I'm sorry. It's just a big thread of a bunch of hate. But here we go. Is it this one? Yeah. Okay. This is it. Okay. Come on. Open up. All right. So here is the post.
Yeah.
Oh, you're gonna find it funny. I hope everybody finds it funny. I mean, don't worry about it. This doesn't hurt my feelings or anyway. But um, here we go. So I posted this. These are the seven beautiful angels that passed away in the hands of. And this is what I said. I said Democrats would rather pay homage to illegal immigrants while completely ignoring our own children and youth who are being harmed. And they're not the only victims. Countless citizens don't even make it into the picture. This is exactly why we stand with ICE. Law and order matters. Protecting Americans comes first. And as you can see, I put Democrats, demo, and then rats because they're Democrats. They're rats. I was trolling a little bit. You know,
Yeah.
but okay, look, here goes. Let's go with one of this ones first. It says, I'm bored. are they any local Facebook groups I can share my political opinion? And they put me Batman, right? But the most funniest one for me, the one that takes the cake. Hold on. Let's go here. Let's go to all comments. This one takes the cake right here. Okay, no, well, this is typical. This is funny too. They're saying that this is me staring
Yeah,
into the mirror, thinking I'm white.
yeah, they will do the same thing to me.
Okay, hold on. Again, this one, this next one, I'm trying to find it. I'm serious. I know I'm wasting time, guys. My bad. But this is so funny. I could not stop laughing. Man, don't tell me it's not gonna pop up. Okay, all these people, yeah, blah blah. Uh, I didn't even see this one. So, anyways, I started licking. Oh, licking boots. They're saying I'm licking boots. And then they started talking about, the way I look or whatever. And I was just trolling them saying, like, how do you know I'm even Mexican? I could be half Japanese and half Portugal. You don't know. And so then they went as far as go into my profile, pick old rants of mine, right
Wow.
here. You look, see? Um, so they were just, dude,
So you
again.
have, so you have them already searching you. So they basically you are living rent free in their minds.
Oh
Literally.
yeah, dude, I can't find that one. Well, I'll tell you what it is.
Are you tired?
Um, huh?
Are you tired? Are you physically tired?
Yeah, I
Because you've
am.
been running in their minds for the entire day. So you
I
don't you know you've
know.
been running around. So bro, that is I'm surprised they even had to they didn't pick on me. So anyway.
Yeah, I know. Wait, hold on. I just okay. So I'm gonna show you what it is. They
Oh,
had you ever seen the movie
yeah,
Django?
yeah. Yeah.
Okay, what's his name? Samuel Jackson.
Yes, I do.
They had Samuel Jackson carrying Leonardo DiCaprio from Django, like master, and they said that was me. I was just like laughing, dude. I just I can't believe I can't find it. Oh, there it is. Look, there it is. They said that's me right there.
I'll be like,
Oh man. Oh man, that's funny, dude.
I know
Shout
it's
out to Abraham Lopez. He probably doesn't like my politics or my views, but I
oh, that
tell
was
you
fun.
what, this is by hands down. Look, I even laughed at it, bro, because it's funny, dude.
Yeah, yeah, it's funny. That one is funny. But
Oh man.
anyway, let's move to the today's update so everybody would be uh
Oh,
in the same page. You know what I mean. So let's go to the I forgot. My mind went blank. Okay, there we go. So we have a few things for tonight. We are going to touch on the Trump and Denmark deal over Greenland. And it's been all discussion all week. A lot of numbers has been thrown
wait,
around.
wait, what the heck happened?
Oh, what's up, man? You all right?
I'm sorry, guys. I got a new camera. I don't know what I did. Oh man, here we go. Hold on. Flip, flip. How do you flip again? There we go. Oh, flip the
Again,
other way. Flip. Come on. What
again.
the heck?
Oh, you mess up. Well, while you
Yeah,
taking
let me hold on. Go for it. Here you go. I'm gonna turn
while
it
you
off
taking
real quick.
that. So, okay, anyway, guys, I really appreciate you guys being here tonight. Well, don't forget to like and subscribe, share the channel. Let's move on to the news today. In this evening, we are going to talk about Donald Trump deal with Denmark, and a lot of numbers has been thrown around into the ether, and everybody, putting numbers. But the numbers that is more solid right now, it is $700 billion, almost twice the GDP of Denmark alone. So excuse me. So we are going to have a video about that. Also, we're going to touch on, we have another video to show you guys about Donald Trump tackling medicine prices on the healthcare side of the equation. So Donald Trump is hitting all the bases. He's hitting like singles, doubles, home runs. He'd be hitting everything. So we're gonna talk about that tonight, and also we are gonna just to talk about any other news that come up while we doing this live stream because it's always something happening while we doing live streams. So those are the main news. So let's start first with Donald Trump talking about the healthcare prices and his plan to lower the prices and make healthcare and also insurance more affordable for the people. Just take a look.
To announce my plan to lower healthcare prices for all Americans and truly make healthcare affordable again. We're doing things that nobody's ever been able to do. We're calling it the Great Healthcare Plan. Instead of putting the needs of big corporations and special interests first, our plan finally puts you first and puts more money in your pocket. The government is going to pay the money directly to you. It goes to you, and then you take the money and buy your own health care. Nobody's ever heard of that before, and that's the way it is. The big insurance companies lose, and the people of our country win. This proposal locks in the massive discounts on prescription drugs that my administration is achieving through our most favored nation drug pricing agreement. Now, when you hear about that, for 40 years they've been trying to do it, but they never were able to do it. No other president was able to do it. I got every other country to approve it by the use of tariffs and other things. They all approved it. Nobody else got it. No other president got it. And for the most part, they didn't even try because they felt it was impossible. It'll bring down drug prices 80, 90%, in some cases, just numbers that nobody's ever heard of before. Your prescription drugs will come way, way down. And under this policy, the prices of many drugs will be slashed by 300, 400, and even 500% starting this month at the TrumpRx.gov. So instead of Americans paying the highest drug prices in the world, which we have for decades, we will now be paying the lowest cost paid by any other nation. So any other nation that's paying the lowest cost, that's what we're going to pay. And the American people will get the savings. So I have to reiterate, the lowest price in the world is what you're going to pay. Before, you were paying the highest price in the world by far, and the politicians did nothing about it. So I'm asking Congress to complete the work that we've started. Next, my plan would reduce your insurance premiums by stopping government payoffs to big insurance companies and sending that money directly to the people. Obamacare was designed to make insurance companies rich. They call it the Unaffordable Care Act, with billions of dollars in taxpayer subsidies that helped their stock prices skyrocket over 1,700%. As you paid more money for health care every single year, more and more, the premiums went higher and higher. I want to end this flagrant scam and put extra money straight into the healthcare savings account in your name, and you go out and buy your own health care, and you'll make a great deal. You get better health care for less money. That way you can choose the care that is right for your family. To further reduce insurance premiums, my plan ends the giant kickbacks to insurance brokers and corporate middlemen that only drive up the costs, and that's what they're intended to do, drive up the cost. But we're driving down the costs. And it fully funds a long neglected part of the law known as the Cost Sharing Reduction Program. This measure alone should cut premiums on the most popular Obamacare plans. It's hard to believe there are any because it's a hated program. It's unaffordable, but it's going to cut them by an average of 10 to 15%. Next, the Great Healthcare Plan. That's the name. It's called the Great Healthcare because it's great healthcare at a lower price. Mandates unprecedented accountability and transparency from insurance companies and all healthcare providers so that special interests can no longer profiteer at your expense. As the saying goes, sunlight is the best disinfectant. That is why my plan orders all insurance companies to publish rate and coverage comparisons in very plain English. It requires insurers to publish detailed information about how much of your money they're going to be paying out in claims versus how much they're taking in profits. In other words, you will be able to watch the scam. It forces them to release detailed data on how many claims are being denied and whether those denials are eventually overturned on appeal. And most importantly, it will require any hospital or insurer who accepts Medicare or Medicaid to prominently post all prices at their place of business so that you are never surprised and you can easily shop for a better deal or better care. And you're going to end up doing both. You're going to get a better deal and better care. We will have maximum price transparency and costs will come down incredibly. I'm calling on Congress to pass this framework into law without delay. Have to do it right now so that we can get immediate relief to the American people, the people I love. Thank you.
What a
Wow.
what a great message. Yes, 5 minutes long, straight to the point. He detailed all his plan for the healthcare and the insurance for the people. That's what we needed, man. Something simple, something straightforward, and put the money in the people's pocket and let the people decide it. You know what I mean? Bro, let me tell you this. This is a I will say this is a socialist program, meaning they give it back to the people, right?
Yeah.
They take away money for corporations. So no leftists should be mad about this reduction act. They shouldn't be. They
It
should be
shouldn't.
happy.
Yeah.
They should be happy and be like, you know what? I may not agree with Trump in many things, but this one we can agree upon because he's not giving money to insurance companies. He's not giving money to pharma. He give the
Mm-mm.
money to you, and you decide where you give your money to. So if they argue, if the left come back, the Democrats party and the leftists come back and say that bill is totally racist, bro, I'm tired of them. You know what I mean?
Well,
I give up all my hopes for the left to become at least agree in one thing. Is gone. All my hopes are gone.
well, here's the thing, Julio, and you know what? I am like that. I'm already at the point where I gave up hope because it's like no matter what this man does, there is no good.
Yeah.
2018, he wanted to fix DACA, he wanted the border, and he wanted to give amnesty to any illegal that's here under, at least 10 years with no criminal record. And he was
Mhm.
going to give them the road to citizenship and plus all the DACA recipients. The Democrats voted no. That was a compromise. That was a compromise. That was a chance for a lot of good folks that are here that came here illegally. And again, when you hear me talk about I stand for ICE, and the thing is, you guys don't realize that when you guys see these incidents where they're getting tackled, punched, thrown around, pepper sprayed, whatever, these people are resisting. They're being almost to the point, or some of them are already rioting. But that's beside the point. Back to the healthcare. This is huge because give me the money, the control. We are, at least some of us are reasonable enough to save this money and put it to the side for our healthcare. Some of you guys aren't able to do that, and I get that, right? I've been there before, and so you can't do that. Okay, well then that's why you need the insurance, the company insurance, and it's not cheap, but this will bring the cost down, and I will tell you why. Of open capitalism is the best check and balance of economy. For example, if I tell the insurance that I'm guaranteeing that everyone in this country has to have insurance and it's going to be subsidized by the government, because meaning the government's going to pay for all the people that can't have insurance, the insurance make money. Because think of it this way: if the government didn't do that, you wouldn't have insurance. A lot of people wouldn't have insurance that can afford it. They would be getting their credit, default, because they would go to hospitals and they would put it on their credit account. Then, they don't pay it. Then they can't get houses, and it kind of messes up the economy. And that was the reason why whole Obamacare, came up to save that. But in reality, it wasn't that. It was the fact that now that the insurance is getting these subsidies, and now everybody's going to the doctor, and they're claiming, well, because everyone's going to the doctor, we are making all these payouts and it's not enough, so we're going to charge this much to the government, and also that means the medicine goes up. This is why right now, if you don't have insurance and you have cash on your hand, it's cheaper than if you had insurance.
That's
And
true.
this is the result of that. This is the result of the insurance getting greedy and being able to mark up everything.
Because
And if
government
they
pays.
if they mark up every prescription pill, if they mark up every I guess procedure, where are you going to go? Who are you going with? Either way, if you go to the next doctor, they're
They're
still
taking
getting the same policy. They're still dealing with the same thing. So it doesn't matter. So again,
by
I
taking the
don't know.
money away. Yeah, by taking the money away and give it to the people, it give the power to the people to decide where they want to spend that money. So all the insurance companies, they had to compete for your
Yep.
business.
Yep.
Literally, that's what he did. I mean, he just took the subsidized money to the insurance, gave it to you, and then you decided you pick whatever company is best for you.
Now
So
if
that's free
now
market right there.
yeah, and now if Dr. Wong, right? I know people know this, but you ever gone to your doctor and your doctor said, "Oh, well, your insurance, we had a thing, they just weren't paying right, so we're not accepting this insurance no more. We're going with this insurance," right? And it's kind of like bummed out, like, I like Dr. Wong. What's going on, right? And then guess what? He can't deal with it because they're also sucking out of the doctor's money. So now if we have the money and we have the control, and if that doctor or those nurses that have attitude and all this stuff, and you like, yeah, you know what, I'm not coming here no more. In fact, my insurance tells me I can choose whoever I want because they're giving me the cash in hand and I'm paying my policy, and you're not treating me right, so I'm going over here, or I'm gonna drop this insurance, I'm going to United Healthcare, and then everybody's swarming to United Healthcare. And guess what? Blue Cross Blue Shield, they're going to change their policy. They're going to get squeezed, and they're going to be like, "Hey, we need to get some people back. We need to drop our prices to at least invite them back over." So guess what? Then you go over and then you move on, and that's just how it is. But now everybody's a free for all. Everything is just like they're all
Yeah,
making money. This
they
is
all make.
why, yeah. And guess what? Like this goes the same thing with welfare and medical insurance and all that. Like, who gains out of all that?
Mhm.
It's not the people that are getting it for free. They think they are, but they're just getting junk food for years, getting sick, getting diabetes, and then you're getting free healthcare. I mean, it's just these rich corporations. So again, for all you guys saying that Donald Trump's for the rich, there you go. Those people don't like what he's doing. This is why they brainwashed you to think that he is a bad person. In fact, this is why so many of you think that, oh, he's a criminal, convicted criminal of a bogus trial. They had to break rules because they found one little thing that he sold a house off market value. It was inflated market value. You know what that means? That means that the house around the neighborhood was worth all $1 million, $6 million, $5 million, and he sold it for like $30 million. And I'm just trying to explain, and that's what he's going into jail for. And then that lawyer used some funds. It's just a bunch of BS. So again, there's a reason why they did that, Julio. They did that because this man is not really for these powerful elites. This guy
Mhm.
is actually really patriotic. And I know some of these people that are going to watch this clip, they're going to be foaming from the mouth. But if you just get out of your rhetoric and just pay attention to what the actions are doing, quit
Mhm.
listening to the noise, because you can do that. I do that to the left. Sometimes I'm like, you know what? Maybe I am brainwashed. So let me listen to the left, and I compare, the policy or the actions, and I just come to the same conclusion. And that's how I know. And again, I mean, this health care plan, I hope it passes. And if it
I
does,
hope,
Julio, I think that would be huge for a lot of families.
I hope so too. I hope everything goes move. And remember, Donald Trump is trying to pass everything that he can as fast as possible because the midterms they are around the corner and anything could happen. And also, Donald Trump is tackling the uh, the voting fraud. So they are trying. Donald Trump is trying to fix this country before the next election. He's not trying to redistrict. He's not trying to invent new rules. He's just trying to make sure the rules are applied for this upcoming election. People
Yep.
think Donald Trump is making laws. No, he's not making any laws. He's trying to make sure the laws that is already in place
Are
are
being
enforced because last time there were like if you see it, if you look at it, you will see it. There were change of custody broken, ballots that they just appear out of the blue, out of the thin air, in the middle of the night, and most of, if not all, the mail-in ballots, I guarantee you, 90% was for Democrats,
Yep.
and that's not a discussion. It was the facts. So you had Donald Trump or any Republican candidate winning, and overnight, the next day, they were losing by 10 points. I'm like, make it make sense. Oh,
Oh
we
yeah.
have 40,000 mail-in ballots, and we seen the scams. We seen the Act Blue scam. They were man, they were doing so much stuff. But anyway, I digress. That's the stuff that Donald Trump trying to fix ahead of 2026 because these elections, the midterms are very crucial, not only for our benefit, but the entire country. So anyway, moving on to the next subject, Donald Trump is talking about buying Denmark, Greenland, and I think it's a good buy. What do you
Dude,
think, Rob?
if we get green, look, it makes sense. Greenland wants to be part of the United States. In fact, I bet you a lot of people want to be part of the United States.
I
And
think so.
this, yeah, and this is the sad reality for the libs because the libs, they think that we're a terrible country, Julio, but we're the best country in the universe.
Yeah, let him think that. Let him think that like I told you before, Donald Trump should make a fund, like I would say, $10 million, just to prove this point. All the leftists, all the communist socialists, they want to try out. Donald Trump opened this fund, like $10 million, to buy them a plane ticket, one-way ticket, and give him at least like $1,000 for expenses, and send them to Cuba, send them to North Korea, and let
Yeah,
them
I would be for that. I would be
and
for that.
let them experience communism
No,
for a little month.
and Julio,
I
look,
guarantee you that they will change their mind right away.
and Julio, look, I would be okay with this, and I hope this gets shared. Okay, I would be okay to give from my tax hard-earned money to pull out from my hard-working money, and I'm sure every conservative Republican would be backing up what you just said. If you really want to leave the country, you have to give up your Social Security, give it up, and then you'll receive these funds. They'll work with the country you want to go to, and all the illegals that haven't broke laws that are here in the United States that can show proof that they've been working hard work and they really want to stay here, give them a chance, use that social security, that social security number that been relinquished and given to these hard working illegals that want to become legal and go and path to citizenship. I wouldn't go as far as give them citizenship, but I would give them a chance to be resident and then let them earn their way to become a citizen so they
Yeah.
can get the retirement benefits and all the stuff that comes with being a citizen. And then at that point, like all these leftists, get them out of here. Or the ones, okay, I don't want to get rid of all the leftists because we need them. We need your rhetoric to oppose my rhetoric because that's the thing about freedom of speech. Because your ideas, even though I believe they're so dumb and idiotic, you think my ideas are dumb and idiotic. And it's a form of check and balances. Because if we debate one another, maybe you might find holes of my argument that might change my mind, or vice versa. This is part of having free speech. But coming back to a whole circle, like Jen Psaki would say, um, circling back, um, dude, I think what you just said right now, Julio, is good for policy. I mean, I don't know. Let us know in the comments. What do y'all think? I mean, you think that would be too much, or
And
um,
send them to North Korea or Cuba for
or
months.
Cuba? No,
Yeah.
I'm indefinitely. I mean, but I'll tell you this,
Let's give him
Julio.
a chance. Let's give him a chance. If
Nah,
they
nah, nah,
want to
nah.
stay there, we just like that. Okay, we ban you. You're not coming back. You know what I mean?
Well,
But
that is true. You know what? That is true. If we
give
do
him a
that,
chance because
we'd
they
be.
might have a change of heart on day one once they get there and see it's not what they thought, and they might I want to be back home. I don't have a Starbucks. I don't have the Apple company nearby.
Yeah, they're gonna
Uh,
be like, where is my DoorDash? I can't get and I'm looking at the app. I can't find
no
where they
internet,
DoorDash.
no
This ki-
internet,
They're
none of
gonna
that.
be in, they're gonna be in Cuba asking, where's the nearest McDonald's?
Oh, shoot, shoot.
Hey, but
All
hey,
right.
Julio, look at this. I'll tell you what, Julio. If once Greenland becomes and it will become part of the United States, they'll be the 51st state. But when it comes, think of how many people are going to migrate over there, because you know why? There's going to be a rebuild of infrastructure. They're going to have to change all their roads to be identical to the American standard. So there's going to be infrastructure on construction for the roads. They're going to be
Companies
infrastructure
moving in,
for buildings, for the government
military bases.
military bases.
It's
I
gonna be a
mean,
lot of work.
this is gonna boost our economy and theirs. And it's no longer a state. I mean, a country. It's gonna be a state. So people are gonna be able to go there for vacation. Because I
Oh,
know, yeah, dude. I bet in the summer it must be really nice.
yes. Let's play this video.
Yeah.
It's the land of ice and snow. But Greenland is rich in rare earth minerals and strategically important for defense and trade.
If we don't take Greenland, Russia or China will. And I'm not letting that happen.
Many Americans do not understand the Danish claim to this Arctic jewel that lies in their Western Hemisphere.
And Greenland, basically, their defense is 2 dog sleds. Do you know that? You know what their defense is? 2 dog sleds.
No, not dog sleds. Denmark and NATO allies today sent aircraft, naval vessels, and soldiers as Trump repeated his desire to own Greenland. The foreign ministers of Greenland and Denmark arrived in DC to meet Vice President J.D. Vance and Secretary of State Marco Rubio, urging diplomacy.
For us, ideas that would not respect territorial integrity of the Kingdom of Denmark and the right of self-determination of the Greenlandic people are, of course, totally unacceptable. And we therefore still have a fundamental disagreement, but we also agree to disagree. And therefore we will, however, continue to talk.
A desire echoed by Greenlanders themselves.
We're not going to grab the sword. We're not going to go into any kind of warfare. What we're going to find is, for hopefully, some kind of diplomatic solution.
President Trump isn't being fair to us because I can't imagine living an American life. It's so free here and we can live as we choose.
But America sees strategic interests everywhere in Greenland, rare earth minerals, but also a path to the US for a Russian missile, and where melting ice could open trade routes to China.
Men en ting skal alle forstå.
One thing everyone must understand: Greenland will not be owned by the United States. Greenland will not be governed by the United States. We choose the Greenland we know today, which is part of the Kingdom of Denmark.
Within that arrangement,
Well, let me have your thought on that, Robert, because that is very telling. He's saying basically they want to keep their status quo right now, but what if Denmark? Because basically what he said right there, they still basically uh owning themselves to Denmark. Literally,
Well,
let Denmark decide. He cannot put the ball on their court and be like, let Denmark decide. But what if Denmark take the money and bail out? Like, okay, we give away uh Denmark, we give away Greenland for, let's say, $700 billion. Let's say $1 trillion. Remember, Donald Trump sees the largest oil deposit in the planet. So Donald Trump is not it's not about money. If they ask $2 trillion, Donald Trump be like, all right, we got it. We got the money. By the way, Donald Trump already secured $500 million on oil sales, and he put it in Qatar, safe and secure from creditors and all that stuff. So we already have money. not even not
yeah,
even 2 weeks
no.
after we took Venezuela, we already have half a $500 million already in the pocket. So Donald Trump going to use that money to buy Greenland. I guarantee you. That's why he put that money to the side. To buy Greenland. So he's not using our money. He's using somebody else's money, like a good businessman does.
Technically, it is our money because they stole our refineries in Venezuela, and
I
we've been
digress. I correct myself. Yes, you're right.
and we were owed that. I mean, there's a circuit court in the Supreme Court justice front, and also I believe the United Nations back in the early 90s that had dictated that Venezuela had violated by kicking out American from their ownership of those oil wells that was in Venezuela. So
Yes.
so this is, I mean, if anything, we're getting back what we're owed in interest. But yeah, he's using it very wisely. And the people from Denmark are saying no, 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 and they're going to do this and that. But money talks. And Denmark, I don't know how they are with their finances, but I'm pretty sure they're not doing too good because they have somewhat of a harsher capitalist / Democrat socialist kind of government. And it's weird because it's capitalist on certain things and it's taxation to the max, where it's like everybody doesn't really want to. I mean, this would be a good deal for them. So it's probably a hard pill to swallow. And here's the thing, the Virgin Islands, for you guys that think, oh, this is not happening, Denmark sold us the Virgin Islands. So just letting you know that right now. So it's happened before. This is going to happen again. And
I guarantee you, Donald Trump will find the weakness where he can leverage that weakness of Denmark against Denmark. He's going to find something, and he's going to put Denmark against the wall and be like, hey, you do A or you do B, but you have to decide. Yeah. And I guarantee you, both of them is not beneficial for Denmark. So they either give it away or we take it back.
And I will say this. I have a feeling that the people in Greenland, there is youth people there, and the youth people are probably the ones that want to assimilate to America. And here's one thing that no one's talking about, and I don't know why, but Greenland right now is forgotten. It's forgotten by the whole world. Even Greenland, I mean, even Denmark has forgotten them. The only reason why right now it's loud is because Trump brought it. Yeah, but nobody gave an iota of a thought about Greenland, not even Denmark. And this is why the older people, that's why they interviewed old people, right? But they're like, oh yeah, we don't want to be part of, because they're like, we're good. No one's messing with us. We don't have these new hipsters they see in America. They don't want these leftists over here. They don't want none of that. They're doing good. They still eat whales over there. No one's no one's stopping them from eating whales. Here in America, you're not allowed to eat whales. So they're going to have an issue with that. But I think they can work it out, because Alaska, they still allow them to eat seals, right? But it's like they made them to where it's a seasonal thing, but what are they called? Eskimos. I'm sorry. Eskimos are still able to eat seal only in Alaska, and you have to be an Eskimo. Yeah, basically a native. And I'm sure natives from Greenland, they'll probably allow them to eat whale because they eat whales, and everywhere in the world, in the planet, that's illegal. You can't eat whales. So
Yeah, it's a big deal. Let me give you another point of view of why Donald Trump want to acquire Greenland. Let me show you this video real quick.
yeah, go for it.
So, in the words of President Trump, Denmark is protecting Greenland by adding 2 more dog sleds. The heart of the US argument is that it alone can protect Greenland.
No,
but
this
2
ain't
more
real.
dog sleds to protect it. Is that it from the Danes? Well, no. There is a Danish military dog sled team, the elite Sirius unit, where teams of 2 spend up to 26 months per deployment, patrolling up to 5,000 miles of inhospitable territory in temperatures as low as minus 50 Celsius. Last year, the Danes did indeed announce that this dog sled unit would be strengthened. But when we asked the Danish government for more about this, they said that the detail was classified. But they didn't just stop at more dog sleds. They also announced 5 new naval vessels, 2 new long-range drones, coastal and air radar equipment, and a new military headquarters in the territory's capital, Nuuk. All to beef up Arctic and North Atlantic defences. And that's not all. Denmark did exactly what President Trump wants and committed to buying 16 more F-35 fighter jets from the US, bringing their fleet to 43. Nevertheless, in a sort of hands-off to the US, NATO has effectively admitted its members in the region need to do more still. And Denmark's Ministry of Defence have just announced that from today, there will be an expanded military presence in and around Greenland in cooperation with NATO allies. Bear in mind as well, there's already a US military base on Greenland, which Denmark has said the US is most welcome to expand. Matt.
Well, I'm now joined from Copenhagen by...
Dude, he's making them buy the planes, and then NATO is saying that's not enough. You need more, And dude, he's applying man. Trump is a genius, bro. He's applying pressure to buy them, so they spent their money, and now this money that he's bringing and waving to them sounds really good because
they already spent their money.
Yeah, dude. Oh my gosh. I'm telling you, this is
already committed. And remember,
I'm glad he's my president. I know, just gotta say it.
I'm telling you, he is the GOAT. But remember, one F-35 is close to probably $150 million. One plane alone. 16, that equals to like a $1 billion, roughly. $1 billion, and that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money that they had to come up with. So Donald Trump would be like, "Hey, I have $1 billion."
I know.
And
Julio,
he making that money.
What happened to the Danes? Did you know the Danes used to be the Vikings? They almost conquered all Europe. Like they were like.
My question from me to you is, why now they want to expand their bases? Why now they want to bring drones and buy more planes? Why now? Why didn't do it?
Well, because again, Julio, what did we just say? Nobody cared about Greenland. No one even put a thought to it. The Danes owned Greenland. I mean, they didn't even think of it. They had 2 dog sleds and they added 2 more. And then Donald Trump made a joke about that. So they're buying all these drones now because they just exposed how they're not contributing to NATO because we're the only ones. They're really relying on you, American citizens, us and your children and my children to fight for their wars if they need to. But they're not putting anything. So again, Donald Trump is doing these rules that they need to have a certain amount of fighter jets is part of the NATO rules. And Donald Trump he's not making new rules. He's just making sure they're following the rules, what we agreed on.
I'm telling you, Donald Trump, like you said, he put in the financial pressure on Denmark. And if they don't have, remember, I just checked Denmark GDP. Their GDP annually is like $450 to $480 million. So
Wow.
that is not a lot. United States GDP is $28 trillion a year. So I mean, that is insane. Price of one F-35.
Wait, didn't they purchase F-16s? Aren't those older, or they purchased
They already
F-35?
they already have few planes. I think they have like 30 already, but they need 45, so they need to buy more. And basically that's what it is. Okay, according to Grok. So okay, so it's already around 83 billion dollars
Wow.
for let me see the price. Okay, the F-35B, which is the vertical takeoff and landing, you go up and down. So that one alone, it is $109 million, including the engine per item, per plane. The regular base traditional, takeoff and, on the runway, it is $102 million per unit. So, bro, buying
Dang.
16 of them, it is
Out of
more-
they can't afford it.
it is twice their GDP.
Yeah, they can't afford it.
They will not be able to afford it, or if they afford it, they have to give something away. Denmark.
And and they would, Greenland, and they would get rich by doing that.
Yeah, they will get their money back. They don't have to worry about probably United States. The United States would take over. They don't have to remain in Greenland. They can just go back to Denmark and just be their own little army and let United States have it. And believe me, United States would put ports, Air Force, Marines, everybody would be there. At least 4 or 5 bases would be built in record time. So it would be amazing. Let's listen to these analysts about Donald Trump plans to take over Greenland. Let's take a listen.
Backdrop that you've got there. I mean, despite everything you just heard, you've done all the things that Trump has asked you to do. You've ramped up your defense. You've got soldiers on the island today as well. None of that seems to have convinced the American president.
That's right. We are spending a lot of money on the defense of Greenland. And it is really important to emphasize that the Americans already have full access to Greenland also. If there were a big threat from Russia or China, the Americans would have the opportunity to add as many soldiers in Greenland as they would want. But they have actually downscaled their presence by almost 99%, from about 15,000 to today 150 radar operators in northern Greenland. So we have upscaled our presence a lot, and the Americans almost removed theirs entirely.
Right. But none of this seems to be convincing Donald Trump not to want to acquire Greenland. You're not winning the argument.
No, it doesn't seem that way. We've heard for many, many days the president is insisting on wanting to have ownership. But we think the meeting today was very good, very constructive.
Really?
Now we have a dialogue about what can we do for the Americans.
said,
What
really?
concretely is it that they want in Greenland, besides the very, very good access that they already have to it. And the door is wide open. There's no need for threats. We are more than welcome to have the Americans in Greenland, and they can do mining, they can have soldiers. They just have to let us know what concretely they want up there.
You make it sound very calm and diplomatic, and I wonder if that's the way it's going to proceed. So we've just heard from the German government that they will post German troops in Greenland next week. You've got Norwegian troops there, obviously more Danish troops. I mean, what's the point of all those troops on the island?
Well, to increase NATO's presence with the rising threats that we're having at the moment. That's what the Americans have asked for. So we're hoping they will see this as a positive step.
And if the
Bro, there you have it. There you have it. It's been forever. Robert, and you know that it's been forever that always the Americans always foot the bill whenever country has issues. United States shows up. That's why they call us the police of the entire world because whatever they need us, we show up, but nobody else could. You know what I mean?
Dude,
Nobody
this,
else would. Donald
yeah,
Trump is like, you know what? Everybody needs to,
put
gather
their
themselves and go there too. Because if I'm there, everybody will be there.
Dude, you know what Donald Trump is doing right now? I mean, oh my gosh, even if he doesn't get Greenland, he's just getting NATO to be part of the process because NATO's job was okay, if USA has a military base there, Germany needs to be there. Everybody that's participating in NATO and that has money should be there also with around there protecting Greenland and protecting the Americans' interest, everyone's interest, because we got your back, you got our back. Just imagine, Julio, like you invite us over to your house and we go. I have to supply the meat, the proteins, or you provide this, or together we're doing this, or you're doing a family event. For the viewers, just think of it like this: you have a party, you're inviting your friends, and one of your friends says, "I'll bring the drinks." The other friend says, "I'll bring the meat. I don't know how to cook, but I'll buy. What do y'all want? How many pounds? This and this and that. The chips, the this, the that." Right? Well, you have those relatives that don't bring nothing to the table, right? Which is fine. But then it crosses the line when it's like, Dan, we've had 500 parties and you never bring anything. That's the world. And America's always the host. America's either always providing everything.
We provided everything, and everybody just come eat and leave.
Yep. And complain.
And complain about it later. Yeah. And complain. Because, like when something happened in Africa, NATO, the first thing they do is America, United States, can you do something about it? And we had to take our drones, our resources, our people, and be like, okay, just go there, wipe them out in one sweep move, and then come back.
And then
home.
we're bad guys because we did it.
And then we look bad in optics because
they're already colonizers. They're just all this and that. And then again, Israel, the conflict with Israel. Who do they come to? America is our allies. And this. And what happened to NATO? What happened to Europe?
They're closer than ours. They're closer than us.
I know. They're their neighbors. It's like us saying, Israel, come help us because we have problems with Venezuela. It's just, oh man. I mean, make it make sense, guys. Like, I don't know how we're the only ones seeing this,
And this guy from Copenhagen, I guess he's the prime minister of Denmark. He said it plain and simple. Donald Trump can do whatever he wants. Mining, bases, resources, anything that Donald Trump wants, he can have it. He cannot have the title, like the title of the vehicle or the land, but he can do whatever he wants. He got permission to do whatever he wants. But no, Donald Trump wants ownership because you know why?
We've been doing it.
Because you know why? Because once he leave in 2028, probably the next president will care less about it and we'll leave.
Yep.
Leave everything behind, the infrastructures, the machinery, the bases, and what they're going to do? They will get it for free.
Because and guess what? This is all America's first plan. Yep. He's setting this up for us and for our children.
And I'm glad mind the heck out of it. Nobody lives there anyway.
Yeah.
90% of the country is empty.
But the thing is, that's the thing. It will become something else. But as of right now, you're right. It's only like 2 major cities. That's it. The whole thing, and it's inhabitable because of the ice and this and that. But here's the thing, you guys got to realize that this is American first. Trump's American first, presidential, and like you said,
He's not
Yeah,
playing.
like you said, he's thinking because he knows that next year, whatever president comes is not going to do what this. And again, even if we don't get Greenland, even if we don't get ownership of this vehicle, let's look at it like something we can relate, like a vehicle. We've been leasing this vehicle. We've been leasing it for years when it was supposed to be leased by everybody, not just us. But we've just been paying and paying and paying, and they're just using it like, well, we're letting you conduct your experiments, your whatever, your military operations here, and this and this and that. But it's like, no, we're only out there because, for one, we need protection for our own selves, and we're protecting you guys so you guys can have ownership. Because if not, China or Russia would go in there and they would take that without asking, and then we would have another Zelensky and Putin war. But my point is that we're tired of leasing this car. Donald Trump is like, dude, you've been ripping off my people for years. And what I'm trying to do, and when he means my people, and when I'm saying my people, I'm saying black people, Chinese people, Asian people, Mexican people, Hispanic people, anybody, because America is about diversity. And as much as we hate that word, but that's the truth. We're all here as Americans. We are all one people under God in this beautiful country. Now, the illegals, I'm sorry, you don't fall in that category because, unfortunately, you're not a citizen. You may be here illegally, and you might play house and pretend like, people that pretend they're married by living with each other, and they're not really married. They're just playing house, right? Well, the same thing. You're just playing citizen. You're not a citizen. But anyway, my point is that Trump is looking for his people, and he's tired of leasing this car. He's asking for ownership, and he's not doing it where he's like, I want this car for free. You owe me money, but I'm not trying to do all that. I just want to pay you. In fact, I'll pay you a very good amount of money for what I believe it's worth, which is more than what you think it's worth. So, America's First, Trump's plan is just a beautiful title of this episode, and it just highlighted right there in just one subject of Greenland from many subjects.
I know, man. It's gonna be great. Let's watch the last portion of the interview to see how they come up. To see what do they say about Donald Trump's ideology of America First.
Possible, they would be clashing with those troops, presumably.
Yes. Let's not get to that point. That would be a disastrous scenario for all of NATO countries fighting each other for absolutely no logical purpose and without any type of legitimacy. Okay. There's no justification for trying to annex Greenland. The Americans have no claim to it whatsoever. There's no legal claim. There's no historical ownership, no drug trafficking, and absolutely no threats from either Denmark or Greenland, who have done nothing.
And the Greenlanders have said that they don't want to become America's 51st state. In one short answer, if it doesn't come to force, but the Americans still insist on having it, and they throw money at it, they try and buy the Greenlanders, who's going to come to your defense?
That's absolutely out of the question. We will never agree to an annexation by the Americans. And we know they're stronger than us. We know they have a much better military. But nonetheless, we're just not going to do that.
Okay, Rasmus Jarlov, thank you very much indeed for your clarity. Thanks for talking.
I don't know. It is a strong position to take, and already kind of like forecasting that he will not bend the knee, whether he recognizes the military of the United States is way more powerful than theirs. But to recap, Donald Trump can't take Denmark in one day. It's that simple. He would not need too much planning. He just need to just show up, drop troops in the different bases, and that's it. It's done. It's done deal. It's not. I mean, we already have a base over there, so it will not take just one day. They either take the money or we take the land. And I'm sad to say, but Donald Trump, I'm telling you, Donald Trump has a technique just to kind of charm people, kind of throw numbers out there. And Donald Trump will use any leverage necessary just to take the land and to buy it from them. And I guarantee you, Donald Trump would put a nice deal package for Denmark. And I guarantee you, Donald Trump would give access to Denmark to keep the military bases, to probably to keep some of the resources. In fact, probably Donald Trump do like, you know what, I'm gonna give you royalties on your resources. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you royalties. I'm gonna give you 2% for 20 or 50 years of whatever we mine. You're gonna get 2%. So plus the money that you take. So I guarantee you, Denmark will take the money.
I know they will. And then
They will take the money.
and then all the administration from Greenland are not going to be happy. They're going to feel, and I can see the headlines right now. Denmark
betrayed. Yeah.
Yeah, Denmark sold and Greenland opposes and is asking for help from NATO to stop the United States. But hey, at that point, dude, we
That's
bought you. Yeah, I mean, there's
what are they going to do? NATO, what is going to do? NATO be like, you know what? If
There
that's
was a
between
consent.
US and Denmark, and
Yeah,
the
they
transaction
consent.
was made, they give up the possession of it to United States. That's between the people and Donald Trump. And I guarantee you, Donald Trump be like, you live in your little base. You could segregate yourself if you want to, but we take the rest of the land, which is like empty. So
Dude.
Donald Trump don't care, man. Like, how many people are living in Greenland anyway? Let me check it
Yeah,
out. Let me-
check that out. Check that out while I ran a little bit, guys. So, you know, Donald Trump is not playing. When he's serious about this, and I think everybody knows now. I mean, he said he was going to get Maduro, and Maduro was telling him, "Come get me, coward." And guess what Trump did? We got him. We got him.
Bro, you know how many people are in Greenland?
How many?
57,000 people.
Really, guys?
57. That's a small town.
So there's really not that much. You know, you could let those people live the way they normally live. They don't have to, you know. But I'm telling you, those guys will be happy to be American citizens. They'll be able to come to the States to vacation without worrying about passports, without
that's
worrying
good.
about, yeah, you know, I mean, like they'll be able to go to Florida, they'll be able to visit here in Texas, New York, and I guess, but then again, you know, I mean, New York right now is looking pretty rough, man. I don't even think I want to go. I mean, it's always looked rough, but
If you look at that, but you're right. If you look at the economical standpoint of infrastructure, outside money pouring in, like you were definitely mentioned, of building bases. That means you need truck drivers, you need construction workers, you need experience and custom to work in those weather conditions, because it's most of the time it's cold. So it's gonna bring a lot of work for the people. At the beginning, they would be mad, but once they start throwing, hey, we need workers, we need welders, we need pipe feeders, we
we need people that build roads, because
Yeah,
that's
so
one
when
that's
the business owners of those little companies, they would be happy. They would be like, what? I'm gonna get a $2 million contract to build these roads and this and that.
Yep, because this is the thing, Julio. You said 18-wheelers, but before all that, before they build bases, before all that, they have to fix the infrastructure of the roads. Because think
Yep.
about it. Right now, they use, you know why they use dog sled? People are going to say, well, the terrain is too rough and no car can make it. Well, yeah, I know, but we have technology since the 60s to do that. You know, in the 60s, they have this machine that cuts mountains to make the roads. You don't think they don't think that the road they just found a place in the mountain and then they paved it. No, they cut a clip of the mountain. That's why it looks serrated. They used a rock. Well, anyways, we have modern that technology even more. So the first thing they're gonna do is plan out the routes for these roads. They couldn't do it now because it doesn't make sense to invest in something that you don't own. But now that we're gonna own it, guess what? They're gonna invest to build these roads, these highways, so that way they can build military complex, so they can put more stores, give more. If I'm a rich elite billionaire, guess what? McDonald's, maybe this and that. Because then guess what? Those construction workers to build the roads, they're going to hire some of the people from that. What do you say? 57,000 people. From there, there's probably going to be like maybe 10,000 people, but you still need more. So guess what? A lot of Americans are going to go have per diem. They're going to say, hey, if you come out here, we'll buy you a house. You'll get paid this much. You'll have per diem. You don't have to sell your house.
Years, yeah.
There's going to be so much money for Americans, and a lot of people are going to migrate over there, and they're going to work over there, and they might even like it because the construction, they have a secure job for the 30 years, 40 years. That's retirement for some of them. And guess what? Dude, for the first 20 years, those people that decided to migrate over there, they're going to have a free house, expensive paid, and they're going to work out there.
I know it is such a opportunity to create wealth. Like you could like invest in companies that actually build the roads. Those companies that are public. You're like, man, I'm gonna put my money in this construction company. They already have the contract to build airports, to build whatever infrastructure, and you put money into it. You're gonna make a little money because those companies would be contracted for years. And like you were mentioned, they're gonna put people there. You're gonna be working there 4 months out of the year, and you come back because of weather. You're gonna rotate people in. A lot of people are gonna make money in mining, drilling, fishing, education. It's gonna open a whole can of infrastructure of economy for United States, and a lot of people that need to work, that wants to work, and they are willing to travel, like you were mentioned. Man, they're gonna benefit from it because it's gonna be working for years, not months. We're talking about years,
and
build
see,
infrastructure for it and maintain it.
Yeah, and see, you're gonna make roads first. Once you have some roads already, then the next thing is gonna be buildings. Buildings, power grids, and then power grids, plumbing, and then from there, guess what? Your linemen, putting up the power lines. Then guess what? What you just said, drill, baby, drill. Then you're gonna have drilling rigs going there. Then you're gonna have directional drilling, and then the military at the same time is gonna be doing the same thing, building their military complex. Dude, it's just so much work.
It's so much work, and this will be beneficial for a lot of people. A lot of Americans are like salivating. I guarantee you, companies, they're already putting together their package. So whenever those bids are open, they're gonna start bidding like construction, like you were mentioned, HVAC, plumbing, food, building houses for the workers.
Airports.
Oh my God, it's gonna be so much money, brother. And the best part is everything will be built, I guarantee you, with the oil money from Venezuela. It will be no cost to us. Everything will be profitable from the get-go. Somebody gonna finance our success. And that's a beautiful thing about Donald Trump. He probably already like 10 years ahead of us, on his plan to rebuild Greenland to become the 51st state. That would be amazing.
That would be amazing.
That would be amazing.
That would be amazing. But for the people in Denmark, beta. Donald Trump is a alpha, bro. You guys are beta. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, Donald Trump is not. Yeah, he's not playing games, and I take that. I like a strong leader, but he will make it happen. He will make it happen. Everybody will be happy. Everybody say no first until Donald Trump. Man, I'm telling you, he got that aura. He would walk to the place, and everybody would be like, "Yes, sir.
Yep.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We're going to do it," and that would be great for everybody, for you and me, for our children. Shoot, he might offer to illegal immigrants. Like, if you want to work and want to get your citizenship, go to Greenland. Work your ass off.
And for those that say, hey, and Julio, and then here's the other thing that people are probably neglecting after hearing what I'm saying. They're going to say, well, all these companies are going to move. Sponsor us. Hey, here's the thing, Julio. So how it benefits us in our in because if they become part of our state, they're our country now. But
Mhm.
how it would benefit inland, this is how it would benefit all these big major companies that are bidding in our state, in our inland, are going to be hyper focused on Greenland because it's going to be more money. And for those that can't, us that have a business that can't go over there and put our business, and some of us are going to take the risk to do it, but some of us that can't, guess what? These big projects that are going on here is for the taking for the local guy. So the local guy is going to be like, and the banks are going to be very happy to lend you money because they're lending money and they're seeing money over there and they just got the money signs. And then you're coming like, hey, can I borrow $2 million for my, plumbing company or my HVAC company? They're going to be like, yeah, here. They're looking at Greenland. Yeah, go ahead, here. And then guess what? You're making money by doing business here. So it's just, dude, this would be a very good move. Very good move for
So
America.
I think this deal will be closed in a month. It takes time. It's a lot of diplomacy. It will take place, and Donald Trump, he's on the right path, and I guarantee you, he probably closed this deal before March 1st. He probably got it, the deal closed. So let me know your thoughts down below. What do you think about Donald Trump taking over Greenland? That would be
Well,
amazing.
what do you think of the American people taking Greenland? Because Donald Trump is not doing it for himself.
I,
He's
I know.
doing
I
it for
guarantee you,
everybody.
man, we need to position ourselves, man. I'm telling you, if Donald Trump buys Greenland, I'm not a financial advisor, but look at the companies. Look at the companies that actually getting their contracts in Greenland to build and rebuild the entire country because I would put my money on it. I would put my money on one of those companies because they're gonna make that money back.
Yep.
I'm just saying, especially oil.
Mm-hmm.
Eating a lot of oil, and the
I know.
gas prices still dropping
For sure they are.
fast. They're dropping fast. I mean, yeah, I seen one place is already 179. I saw it.
Ah, the good day. Wait.
I tried to find the picture because I was scrolling and somebody posted a picture of it. I'm like, and I tried to go, Facebook. Sometimes they refresh and they delete the whole timeline. So I tried to get back to it. I couldn't find it, but I saw 179.
I'm gonna try to find the lowest one here where I'm at, and then I'm gonna take a picture. So when you see me, I'm gonna make a little video, and I'm gonna be like, "See, look at that, Texas."
Yeah, I went to Costco on Cyprus last week, and they had it for 197.
That's still good.
That's good, man. That's under $2. I was like, man, that's crazy.
You know,
197.
I have a 40-gallon tank in my truck, and normally it fills up with, back in the Biden days, $130 or something like that. Now, I'm filling up with $80.
I filled my truck, my wife's truck today. It is around 23 gallons, bro. $48.
I can't wait till I fill up with. I hope one day I get to fill up with $60, and I'll be like, yes. But all right, man. Well, this
great weekend, by the way. Thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate it. It was a kind of a lengthy episode. It's Friday. We will not see each other again until Monday,
Monday.
which is the Martin Luther King Day. We're gonna show up. Probably. Well, you have to work right on Monday,
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do.
so we see each other again 7:30 p.m. Central Time on X, Rumble, YouTube, and on Facebook. You can find us there every evening, Monday to Friday, 7:30 p.m. Central Time. Don't forget about that. And also hit like and subscribe, share the channel. And I'm gonna read the last verse before I'm leaving for the weekend. All right, Romans 12:2. Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Then you will be able to test and approve what God will is. He His good, pleasing, and perfect will. Amen. Man, that's
Amen.
very true. That's very true. We cannot conform to the lunacy of what's going on in this planet right now. We have to stay faithful to the word of God in the Bible because He warned us about these hard times, and we have to be faithful for what is yet to come because we're getting close to His second coming.
Yep.
I don't know. I do not know if I'm ready today, and I need to get myself ready. To be honest, I'm not lying to you. I'm not perfect, and I'll never will be perfect until I show up my face to the greatest and the Creator, and I'll be judged by my deeds right here in the on earth.
Well. See, the thing is, thanks to Yeshua, it's not by deeds that you go to the Father. It's by through Him because He paid the price. So, as the way I look at it is this way: if
Mhm.
you live your life and you've created or done a sin that you know you did, and you repent, meaning you like really feel bad, and you when you feel bad, you ask forgiveness, your sins are forgiven like what we read as far as the east to the west. So if your heart, if you really feel bad in your heart and you repent, but you have to claim to Yeshua the Christ, because only through Him you can reach the Father. And that's what I've learned by reading the Bible so far. But um I think this episode was good. It was a little bit, like you said, lengthy, but this is the one of the highlights of Trump's plan for American First, and it
Yes.
goes by making this, to some might look like colonize. It's not colonized. This is diplomacy. They're trying to make a deal, and he is just spouting out what a good salesperson is doing. Oh yeah, we'll get it. We'll get it. And we might not get it. But you know what we are getting? A fair chance by getting NATO more involved like they should be. So even if we lose, we don't necessarily lose. But you know what? Like always, give us a like. It's for free. Give us a share and follow us. It's for free. Help us support this channel by just, joining on to the live streams or watching our clips. This weekend, like Julio said, we're taking a break, but we'll still be dropping some reactions. So stay tuned.
All right, guys. Take care. Have a good one. Have a great weekend. God bless America. God bless our troops. And God bless you.